If you read Romans chapter 3, maybe verse 19. Okay. Are you reading the Bible? It said, now we know that what things soever that the law saith, it saith to them who are under the law, that every mouth may be stopped and all the world may become guilty before God. If you read from chapter 1, 2, 3, Paul started by trying to bring both the Jews and the Gentiles to one level. That never think because you had the law so you are better than anybody. Everybody is in one category, and that's what he's still saying here. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. That's the justification that we are talking about. What he's trying to say, that by you trying to do something, you will not be able to get to the point that God, if he want to judge you on the account of what you have done using his measurement, nobody can meet it. And that's why Jesus Christ came, so that we will be justified by the resurrection, by the work of Christ. For by the law is the knowledge of sin, but now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested. So he's talking about another kind of righteousness that has come, which is without the law. This kind of righteousness is not by what you have done. It still doesn't stop you from doing, because when you receive that nature is supposed to empower you to do. But God doesn't want you to start from the point of trying to become. He wants to start from making you his righteousness. Then you learn how to live it out. Because if he doesn't qualify you to that point of righteousness, you will never be at a point that you can confront darkness. You will not have enough ground to challenge darkness, to challenge Satan, to stop the works of darkness. Because when you show up before him, your garment will be filthy. There will be a problem. He will bring accusations against you, and you may not have the grounds. You will be a casualty of spiritual warfare. So he now introduces a new kind of righteousness, which is what? Without the law, being witnessed by the law and the prophets. In other words, the law and the prophet even spoke about it. Even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ, unto all and upon all them that believe. There's no difference. According to God, you are as righteous as I am. I can't be more righteous than you are. I can manifest more of the righteousness of God more than you. But when we say who is righteous, from God's standpoint, we are all beneficiary of that same kind of righteousness. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being therefore justified freely by grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. I just wanted you to see the first righteousness I was talking about. That's the dikaiosune. That is the first kind of righteousness. Is bequeathed to all of us. Everybody in Christ has that righteousness. But there's another word that is used in where you were reading in Revelation chapter 19 verse 8. In Revelation 19:8, they didn't use the same word that was used here. That one is dikaioma. Dikaioma is not looking at equity of character like a bequeathment. He's not looking at a gift. He's now looking at the acts of righteousness, the deeds of righteousness, which is equally very important. That when the bride stood before the groom, he's talking about the ceremony, the marriage ceremony of the bride and the groom, and then he's giving us a revelation which will take place later. He said, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen. If you went back, it would rather even be better. He said, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife is the church. The wife of the Lamb is the church, had made herself ready. So this is where God is trying to take us to. There's a place he's taking us. It's a harvest that will take place too, so that the church will be complete, will be matured enough to enter into this marriage with the Lamb. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. So this one is not talking about the one God gave. So whilst you're on earth, to function effectively and to execute your authority and all of that, to engage in warfare, confront darkness, you will be clothed in the garment of righteousness that God bequeaths. But you see, when you have to do with God, these are things that will be looked at as far as rewards are concerned. when we take this, and I'm trying to draw your attention to the fact that you don't need to come to condemnation when you are dealing with the devil, because God has done something. But it doesn't end there. There ought to be fruit bearing, because it will count in another sphere, in another context. It will count.